cultural destination. And here is your host, Esther J. Thomas.
Island Riddims is bringing you to St. Kitts, and we're at our host hotel, the Royal St. Kitts, where we're doing it up with Fire and Ice, our local entertainment. And we're doing it just like the Kittians do. We're Lyman. That's right. Island Riddims is going to take you on a beautiful tour of this gorgeous mountainous island. Come join us tomorrow. I'm Esther Thomas, your host for Island Riddims.
Why you want to marry? You don't have no money. You ain't walking through it. You don't have a lady. You think it's so. You think it's wrong. You think it's so. Why you wish to love? Come on. Every evening people passing with talks of like chicken. She watching you in your old shoe. She feeling to pick you. Somebody will harm you. You better believe it. Now he's gonna take a drink without touching it. Yeah.
I am Kittian.
I am a Kittitian.
I'm a Kittitian.
And I'm very proud to be from St. Kitts and Nevis.
I am proud to be a Kittitian.
I am a Kittitian.
Welcome to the historical city of Bastia, the capital of St. Kitts. Bas meaning low, terre meaning lands. Bastia comes from a French word meaning low lands. In Bastia, you can look around and see the architecture that has been here for over 400 years. Come along with Island Riddims while we're taking you on a historical tour of the capital of St. Kitts, Bastia. While taking a stroll along the city of Bastia and admiring the historical architecture, why not come down and walk through Port Zante? Whether arriving by ship or airplane, Port Port Zante is the place to come and arrange your local tours as well as duty-free shopping. You can come down, do some duty-free shopping, and sample local liquor, which we're about to do right now. We're right here at Caribbean Treasures, the only place that offers free liquor for sampling. We have Belmont, Brindley's, and lots more. But today, I'm going to try some Brindley's Gold Coffee Rum. So let me try that and see how that tastes. Thank you. Nothing like a good old shot of coffee rum on a warm, hot day in St. Kitts. That was absolutely good and very tasty. After taking a stroll along Port Zante, where you got all your duty-free shopping in, why not come down and see some local craft and arts right here at the Amina Craft Market. With me is the number 4 booth at that market, and I have the owner, Miss Patsy Osborne. We're going to take a look around and find something that we really like and we can take home for gifts for our friends. So when you're in St. Kitts, make sure you stop by and see Miss Patsy and say Island Riddims said hi. Hi, Miss Patsy.
Hi.
Good. Let's take a look and see what we have.
Okay, right here I have the coral, mother of pearl, and these are the shells, abalone shells. I have them in different color.
Oh, this is so pretty.
And I also have the earring to match. This is abalone shells also. These are amber.
The amber is beautiful.
These are the opal. I have the earring to match. These glue in the night. You see it?
Yeah, that is so pretty.
And when you get in the dark, it lights up. All these are shell, different type of shells with dye. And these are...
That looks like black coral and turquoise.
And turquoise.
Yes, this is beautiful also. So when you come down to the craft market, make sure you stop in and say hi. I really like some of the tropical outfits that you have, and this dress just happens to be my favorite right here. So you can actually even buy clothes at the craft market. And the stuff at the craft market, the good thing about it, it's all right here, made in St. Kitts from St. Kitts. So if you want a little trinket to take home, the best place to come is right here at the Amina Craft Market.
And don't forget the volcanic rock. It's medicinal, good for arthritis and blood circulation. So it's a very
How about hangovers?
I think it may be good too, yes. Mostly the older folks, you could get one for your grandmama or grandpa. It's very good. You wear the bracelet. You can even go in the water, the sea with it, and it keeps away the arthritis pain.
All right, Miss Patsy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
St. Kitts just has so much to offer. As a part of the Kittitian history, the indigenous people, the Caribs, lived here for a number of years. Unfortunately, you know, the Caribs and the English or British never got along. There was a planned massacre, but because and for the sake of love, the Caribs were massacred. And it is said that right here at this point, this river flowed red for three days, hence the name Bloody Point. St. Kitts is the home of the indigenous Carib and the site of the first permanent contact with Europeans. We're standing here at, with my friend, Deli, from the Department of Tourism right here in St. Kitts. Deli, let's talk a little bit about the hieroglyphics that's behind us.
Well, these are officially called petroglyphs. These have been here since about 2500 BC when the Caribs first landed here. They were called the Kalinago Indians. They migrated from the Orinoco River thereabouts in Brazil and moved upwards through the islands, the island chains, and they settled in St. Kitts, probably around 1200 or thereabouts. They first made contact with the Europeans through Sir Thomas Warner, an English settler, in about 1400, give or take, not too long after Columbus sailed through these parts in 1492 on his second voyage. These petroglyphs, we're not sure which deities they represent, if they represent any deities at all, but it is said that if you touch this rock, pregnancy will be in the future. So I'm guessing that this one with a large belly here is probably a fertility deity of some sort, and the one next to it is his mate. It looks like a monkey. It's pretty obvious to tell, but that's basically what we can tell from these petroglyphs.
Interesting. So if you're in St. Kitts and you'd like to become very fertile, this is the place to come and give this rock a rub. I'm Esther Thomas, and I'm definitely not touching the rock. The Caribou Boutique store is located on the beautiful estate, the Romney Estate. And Deli, tell me a little bit about what's behind us.
Well, this is just a little bell tower. I'm guessing that it was used to call the slaves either for the various meals or to start the day, ending the day as well. All of these lands, it's quite a big patch of land. We're now sitting on the botanical gardens, acres and acres of land. There's another sugar mill just a little way down west of us. And most likely this bell would be used to call to service, church service or otherwise, for the slaves.
Again, and earlier we were talking about historical buildings and the architecture, and this manor was actually situated here in the 1700s.
That's right.
And it still stands here. So again, part of St. Kitts' unique architecture is the buildings and just the estates, and right behind this is the rainforest.
Yes. Yep. This estate was given to the Earl of Romney back in the 1700s. I believe the price tag was 40 barrels of rum, rather. You know, by today's standards, cheap. But he held on to these lands for a good long while, and then it got traded, and it fell into a state of disrepair and was taken over by a gentleman called Morris Widdowson, who now owns these lands, and he created the Carabel Batik store.
All right, this is good history. We are at the Romney Manor, where we have the beautiful Carabel Batik material, and we're going to have a short demonstration by Miss Yvette. Hi, Miss Yvette.
Hi there.
And you're going to explain just how this beautiful material is done. Now, we've seen it everywhere. I've seen this in all kinds of different islands. I've been everywhere and seen batik. I think what's unique about St. Kitts batik is that it's actually made right here on Romney Manor.
Yes, and I will explain the process to you. First of all, welcome to Carabel Batik.
Thank you.
My name is Yvette, and I will explain what we are doing here. What we are doing is an art, and it is called batik. Now, batik means to wax and to dye. We always start off with a white piece of cotton material. We trace a design on first in pencil, and we'll then apply hot wax onto the areas we want to stay white. Having waxed the areas we want to stay white, we'll take it off the frame and we dip in a color. Now this piece will dip into blue. The white area you see here is where you wax first. The wax is still on. We now want to keep some of this color. We then apply more wax. And so we'll continue the process of waxing and dyeing to as many colors as we need. For instance, if we want 5 colors, we'll wax it 5 times and we'll dye it 5 times. To remove the wax, we'll boil it for 30 minutes. The wax will flow to the top. We skim it off. Most of it can be recycled. This is our masterpiece. This is 5 colors that took us 9 days to finish. And if you look on the wall here, we show you all the different stages it has to go through, from trace right across to final product. The more colors, the longer it takes. Each piece of item you see here is all individually done. They can be washed either by hand or by machine. They will never shrink. They will never fade. This is the end product of what we are doing, and this is 3 colors, 5 days work. To tell genuine batik, you take it and reverse it. And if it's not reversible, it's not true batik. Has to be the same on either side.
Okay, Mr. Yvette, that was a wonderful demonstration. Very interesting and a lot of information. Now I have questions, because we come to the islands and we buy batik, and I hear all sorts of things. Don't frame it, don't wash it, don't put it in a washing machine. Can you actually frame batik and put glass over it?
Yes, you can. Actually, for example, here's one here with a glass, frame behind glass. Okay. And we show you all different ways you can frame it. You can frame it like this. Okay. Staple it onto a wooden frame. So different, and they can be washed either by hand or by machine. So you don't have to worry.
Okay, and now I've seen batik shirts. Now, how do I know? You said knowing the way that you find out it's real batik is that you have to turn it around, yes, and it should be the same design on both sides. Yes. Okay, and you have artists that come in and actually pencil in your designs, or is that done here?
We have our resident artists who trace our designs for us.
And a design takes about how long?
All depends on the amount of colors you wanted. It varies. The amount of colors, the more work. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to be sure I take a look around and see if I find a piece of batik that I like.
I want to see. Thank you for coming. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you. After a long day of touring, sightseeing, and duty-free shopping, I'm famished. Can't wait to eat. St. Kitts is dotted with over 68 sugar plantations, and today we're having lunch at one of the best, the Rawlins Plantation. And today Chef Luke is going to explain just what we're going to have. Most of these dishes that you're going to see here today are indigenous to St. Kitts. So let's talk about what we have here. Hi, Chef Luke. Hi. Hello. Of course, you know we're going to start out with our salad.
Salad, regular salad.
Definitely.
Tomato, cucumber, lettuce.
Okay, and this looks very familiar to me. That looks like naan bread.
Is bread from India.
Okay. Okay, so there's a little bit of Indian influence on what we're going to see today. Okay, of course, we know we have the Kittitians call this seasoned rice.
Seasoned rice.
Okay,
Exactly.
so a shot of the seasoned rice. And I definitely know what this is, and I can't wait to taste it. Curry chicken.
Good chicken.
Okay. I can't move. I really am going to guess, and I might be wrong, two things. I want to say Swedish meatballs, but we're in St. Kitts, so I'm probably wrong. And then I'm going to say, since it's an Indian influence, probably lentil balls.
No, is meatball with ginger sauce.
Okay, so I was close, but it's not Swedish meatballs. Okay, so we're definitely going to try some of that. And over here,
Saltfish.
saltfish. And to those of us who are not familiar with saltfish, of course, it's a salted fish, whether it be cod or haddock, and it's dried. And a lot of the islands use it in their local cuisine. And how is this prepared?
We cook for a few hours the fish, and after you make the sauce with tomato and different ingredients.
A little bit of onion, cilantro, looks really good. Peppers, looks really good. And of course, what do we have here?
Yes, is kingfish.
Oh, kingfish.
Kingfish in the dough with a little bit spice.
Okay, so kingfish, that looks different, and definitely you can't go to the islands without having some plantains. Plantains. And right here, there's so many names for that. I've heard people in Spanish countries call it arepa. I've heard people call it journey cakes. And in St. Kitts, of course, it's called a Johnny cake also, which basically, for those of us who live in the mainland, is a sort of fried dough, only thicker. And that's one of my favorite things, too. So we're definitely going to try that today. Chef Luke, thanks so much for sharing your time with Island Riddims. I'm famished, so I'm going to go eat. Delicious lunch. I was so full, I decided to take a lovely, cool, breezy walk around the Rawlins Plantation Inn. The Rawlins Plantation Inn boasts beautiful destination weddings. So if you're in the market and you're looking for some place to get married, here would be the right place. One of the honeymoon suites is a beautiful windmill, which they've transformed into a place where you can relax, enjoy, and have a beautiful time. The Rawlins Plantation Inn also boasts the only one of its kind on the island, a cow mill. Such fun to see and different things to enjoy. They boast 20 different types of fruits right here where you can have fresh vegetables. Your salad is picked right here on the ground. If you're looking for some place to just relax and take in the beautiful Caribbean breezes, I would say make your stay right here at the Rawlins Plantation Inn. I'm Esther Thomas, and I'm having a refreshing drink. We're standing on the beautiful peninsula in St. Kitts with the Minister of Tourism, Mr. Richard Scarrett, affectionately known to everyone here as Richie. Nice to be here with you. So much happening for St. Kitts right here in the next couple of years. It won't look like this. Let's talk about the Mandarin Oriental Group and the Christoph project that we're going to be having come up here and do some development and what we expect to happen from that.
Well, significant investments in terms of capital and in terms of quality in about 2,500 acres of land, which is currently undeveloped, but done very tastefully, done with great sensitivity to the environment and to the culture of the island.
And I think that's what most of, when we come from abroad and we see development going on, we totally just assume that there's so much that's going to happen to the environment and the ecosystem, but you're saying that there are steps that are being taken. I know one of them is that we've started putting lines underground already.
Oh yes, well that's happening all over the island. I mean, that's for technology and aesthetic purposes. But in terms of new development, we've had the opportunity to do a lot of planning, do a lot of learning from, I suppose, from experiences of others. And we understand that you're not selling a property anymore. You're actually selling the environment. You're selling the culture and the people of the island in terms of the island experience. You're promoting a special Caribbean encounter, which people will cherish. And so you have to pay great respect to the environment and to the other, sometimes intangibles.
Okay, now the other thing that I wanted to speak to you about is, of course, we're concerned about jobs and the turn that's happening in St. Kitts. There's, you guys are going from transitioning from sugar to tourism. How is that happening, and what is the process in which it's happening? Are you still involved with sugar, or are we just fading that all the way out?
No, in 2005, just under 4 years ago, the government took the necessary and bold step to completely shut down the state-owned and controlled sugar industry because of significant, I would say massive financial losses, which were bleeding the country and keeping us in a mode which was undesirable for the economy. And that then resulted in a greater sense of urgency in diversification. We had been building towards it. There had been some diversification. For example, the Marriott Resort Development Project, which was one of the largest projects ever undertaken on St. Kitts, had already opened when we closed the sugar industry. So it wasn't as if everything ended there and started at that point in terms of tourism. But what it has done, it has accelerated and brought a greater sense of urgency to our tourism development. And St. Kitts has therefore been emerging as one of the new Caribbean destinations.
Do you find that it's going to be hard for that transition to take place because of the locals here, or do you think that the locals and Kittitians are embracing that?
Well, I think as we go along and as people see the possibilities and as we do more education and awareness programs and as people see the benefits particularly, people are embracing it more. But people are embracing it with an awareness that we shouldn't throw all our eggs in one basket, and that we have to try to empower local people. We have to try to add value where we can and be as unique as we can be. I think we have a very great opportunity to learn as much as we can while we go, full speed ahead. So it's not as if we're going head first into an unknown. A lot of this experience has been encountered in other destinations, and we're doing best practices and trying to, adjust as we go along. A lot of it is unpredictable, especially in this particular difficult market and economic conditions. But we really trying to don't destroy what we have, but to enhance what we have and try to make some money in the process.
And I think that you guys have the right foot in the right direction, and that is happening because while being here, there's just so many things St. Kitts has to offer. For example, the history. Every single building, the architecture that I have entered has some sort of history tied to it. Do you think that that brand already exists here, or is that something that we're going to see implemented?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. We're very fortunate in that the brand is here. What we've been doing is trying to shape the brand and to promote it in a way that attracts attention, but at the same time maintains its integrity and strengthens its integrity as we go along. We want a St. Kitts experience to be an experience that is cherished, that is fondly remembered, and that brought a sort of renewal to the spirit that helped to connect with the Caribbean and what is unique about St. Kitts. And so we are very fortunate because of the history of the island, because of the culture of the island. The heritage of the island is such that we believe we can mold it very, very closely into the brand of St. Kitts as a tourism destination.
Okay, I've been everywhere, to almost every jazz, blues, music, you name it, I've been there. I've never experienced the St. Kitts Music Festival. So what I want to talk about is, why is it called the Music Festival and not the Jazz Festival?
Well, when it started 12 years ago, the folks who had the vision were, I think, wise enough to understand that the Caribbean culture is such a mix of experiences and of peoples from around the world that we were going to get into trouble if we didn't open us up to all of the genres of music. So the St. Kitts Music Festival became the first festival in the Caribbean to promote and to encourage all genres of music. And we wanted it to have a strong Caribbean flavor. It was like all other festivals. It's a sort of double whammy. You try to promote the culture of music while attracting visitors to fill hotel rooms in what is a traditionally slow period for tourism. So it's so important that you make it a special experience that people want to come back to, and they're not just coming because of which act. We promote some good acts. We don't have the large budgets of some of our competitors to bring in the very expensive acts, but we try to bring in the best that we can while really promoting the St. Kitts Music Festival experience, which is beyond the stage, which is beyond the venue, which is all that there is in that few days that a visitor would spend in St. Kitts, mixing with local people who represent about 50% of the audience. So it's called a music festival because the focus is on all music and the focus is on the wider experience.
And I'm glad that you touched on that, because the reason I brought up that it was called the music festival is so many times we go to a jazz festival and that's what we go there for, particularly for that. We spend all our time, you know, we're on the property that we are and we don't venture out. So you're saying that there are activities included prior to the music festival and so forth and so on, so that the people who come in and the locals as well can enjoy that.
That's the point. We want you to have a great nighttime festival because the main acts are on at night and it's in one venue. But during the day, we have other things taking place, opportunities for experiencing the island, some free concerts downtown, and other things that have music as a core. But ultimately, it's the St. Kitts experience. And there's several festivals around the Caribbean, and we try to help to promote all of them because we think all of them have their own special strengths. But the St. Kitts Music Festival, it's about the festival experience, the fun, and the quality of the music all blended in together.
Okay, and you're making me really excited already about the music festival because I'm looking forward to definitely bringing excerpts of that to people on the Northeast. We've done several other islands, and I think the uniqueness about this is that it's a music festival. So we're not just going to see, you know, R&B music or just jazz music. There's something for everybody.
It's a strong Caribbean experience. Soca, calypso, reggae, dance hall, which are Caribbean. We have some zouk music. We definitely have a little bit of jazz. But if jazz is all you want, the St. Kitts Music Festival is not the music festival for you to come to. We're going to have we always have one or two very good quality jazz acts, but it is not a jazz festival. Okay. It covers everything: R&B, pop, you know, soul, everything. You know, we bring back stuff from the past. We got emerging acts, we have big hit acts, and we have local and Caribbean music on display.
Okay, so again, St. Kitts staying unique and stepping out front first and creating new ideas for other Caribbean islands as far as the music festival is concerned. And again, Island Riddims will be more than happy to bring excerpts of that to you and also tell you what kind of musicians are going to be here in June. And we look forward to bringing that to you. Minister, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. And we'll be bringing you much, much more from St. Kitts.
Thank you for watching Island Riddims with your host, Esther J. Thomas. Join us next time for your Caribbean cultural destination on Island Riddims.